Welcome to Programming with Python course again. Today we are going to learn looping. Right? Yesterday we learned one of the programming concept, which is condition and branching. Right? Today we are going to learn looping. Um, let's start with the concept of the looping. Right? What is a looping? Looping means repeating a particular actions. In today's lessons, we are going to learn for loop and while loop together. Right? So do we do the looping in the daily life? Of course we do. For example, one of the example we can give is that when you go to a shopping centers or shopping mall, you will notice that the door will open automatically, right? As long as the power is on, whenever the person is there, you do the door will open and close, right? So this action, door opening and closing, will be repeated multiple times as long as the main power is on, right? Another example could be like doing the push-up, right? You do the push-up for 20 times. You repeat it. You repeat push-up the actions for 20 times for a number of times, all right? Likewise, for example, the doctor gives you a 20 pills and then the doctor asks you to take 3 pills per day and then you finish all the pills, right? So you will keep on repeating 3 pills a day and then until you finish all the pills. So these are our repeated action in the daily life. In the programming term, we call it looping, all right? So let's start with learning on the for loop in Python programming. All right. Even though I say Python programming, of course, it can be in any programming language, right? Just a syntax will be different based on the which programming language you are using. Okay. So for loop, what does it mean by for loop? For loop, repeat the process for a fixed number of time. All right, fixed number of time. For example, just now you do the push-up 20 times, right? So 20 times you already predefine the number. So you will do the push-up action for predefined number. Okay. Another example I can give you is print I love Python for 10 times. I hope you will go and write your Python code later, right? Print I love Python for 10 times. So what you want to do is you want to print out this sentence. I love Python. Print I love Python. All right. One way we can do is we can just copy and paste this line for 10 times. Or we can put this line into the for loop so that it can automatically repeat the process for you. All right. So let's go to the example. Here, what I want to teach you is the function called range. All right. Okay, range, why I'm teaching range here? Because we want to write the for loop using this range. Okay. Range of 5 will give you starting from the index 0 all the way to the 4. All right. So if it's a 5, you will go up to 4. Okay. Another way to do is starting point. Starting point can be static, not necessarily need to start from 0, right? So you can put the starting point here. Range of 1, 6 will give you the values from 1 to 5. Similarly, not only the increment by 1, you can in fact increase the number by 2. So by putting the value there, right? So range of 1, 10, 2 will give you like 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So this is a function range, right? So in this example, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this range inside the for loop. And then let's see how we are going to print, right? So here I write a Python code for k in range 1, 10, 2. So k value will start from 1 all the way to 10 every time you will jump 2, right? So for that, the action I'm going to do is only print k, okay? So in this example, print k, this action will be done 5 times, right? Print k will done by 5 times. So what you are going to get is you are going to get 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So if we summarize it, all right, so the action itself is print k. How many times we want to repeat is defined by your for loop. All right, how many times you are going to repeat? You are going to start from 1 all the way to 10 every time you jump by 2. So there are 5 numbers. So you will repeat the process 5 times. All right. Okay, another example. Let's look at another example. I have the score of the students. All right. So in this example, I have the scores of 5 students. What I want to do is I want to print out, all right, on the paper or on the board to show that, okay, what is the score that this student get. All right. So I'm going to do this printing statement for 5 times. Instead of writing this print statement, copy and paste 5 times, I'm going to put in the for loop. All right. So what I'm going to do is for each mark in this original list, I do the printing. So when you write the for loop, similarly to the if statements, you put the full collar after your for statement. All right. Okay, next. Next, what I want to teach you is the numeric function. All right. So numeric, the advantage of numeric is not only give you the value itself, you give you the indexing as well. All right. So if you look at this example, for numeric marks, you got two values. One is an index, another one is a score. Right. So you can print out two. So this time, your information get is student index 0 gets 23 out of 100, student index 1 gets 56. So you know the location of the students as well as their score. Right. Okay. Next, let's look at another examples. What we are going to do is we are going to write the loop functions to sum all the numbers in the given list. Right. So what I'm going to do is for each mark in the marks, we are going to add this value into the result variable. Initially, result is initiated to be 0. Right? So you keep on adding the value into the result until all the score in the list is done. Right? So in this example, you might think that, oh, okay, there are only 5 numbers, I can just add it. But the advantage here is that, all right, so if you have multiple score, like 20 students, 100 students, this method will help you to do that. Okay. So this is another example that we can do it. All right. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to calculate the average mark of the students. All right. So first of all, I use a for loop to submit all the numbers inside this marks list. All right. Then after that, I find the average score of the students. Now, we have covered the for loop, right? So what we are going to do is we are going to write while loop. What's the difference between for loop and while loop? While loop repeats a process till a particular condition is met. For loop repeat the process for a fixed number of time, predefined number. But while loop repeat the process until a particular condition is met. All right. So for example, if I give you 10, what I want you to do is I want you to count it in the reverse order. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. So what we do? We minus 1 from the given value till it reaches 0. All right, it reaches 0. So we don't know how many times we are going to do this, but we will repeat the process and then it reaches 0. All right. Similarly, I can give you a list. I can give you the list to print out the values from the list. All right. Then I will stop this printing when the value is less than or equal to 0. Okay. You have to be careful when we are working on the while loop because it can go to the infinite loop. All right. If your condition has never met. Okay. So that way, hang your computer. So be careful with this. Okay. Now let's give you an example. So number given is 4, right? So as long as the number is greater than 4, greater than 0, I will just keep on printing. All right. And then I do the two statement here. I print the number and then I minus the 1 from the given number. All right. So until the condition, as long as the condition is greater than 0. So when the value is 0, you will stop printing or it will minus it. All right. So you will print out for 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Now let's look at the next example, right? Next example, you can see that there are 5 scores given in your mark list. So here, what I'm doing is that, all right, I'm going to print out this score if the value is more than 0, all right? So what I do is I write the while loop when the mark condition is greater than 0. I print out the mark and then I move the index to the next level, all right? So the looping will stop at minus 24 because it is less than 0. All right. Okay. So this is a while loop. All right. That you have learned for loop and while loop. Today we have learned the looping condition for both for and while loop. Right. Later we are going to do some exercise using both for loop and while loop. Please go and visit to the GitHub repo and do the exercise. Thank you.